Let's get into topic number one and let's talk about this Benson Boone American Heart Tour. Now, when I worked that show, and that was literally before the Gaga show, so that was Friday, I believe. I'll get into the Tate McRae stuff when we get around to because hers was the day before. She did two shows. I'm gonna let y'all know some things the people were saying with that, but I'm gonna wait till the next one when we do the VMAs stuff because all that can kind of go intertwined. But nevertheless, Benson Boone. In a way, I was like, why didn't they have him perform at the VMAs? But he's on tour, so he had time. But I was I didn't overwhelm myself. I didn't know what to expect from a Benson Boone concert because I'm like, okay, he's relatively new. I feel like he came on the scene about 4 years ago, and it's funny how like 4 years, it's been, it's taken him 4 years to get to where he is today, and already you're selling a Madison Square Garden, and you're able to do arena shows. So I was like, I don't know if he got that many songs, and I don't know if I mean he had an opening act, and the opening act I don't remember the guy's name, but he was actually good. It was giving kind of an old retro Elvis. Nat King Cole type of vibe. So, and we already know like Benson's style is very retro. And so when I first walked into the arena to kind of look at, I always, one of the things about me that I love about when I work at the Garden, I love the calm before the storm. And this has always been my situation whenever I do live shows. It's like when nobody's in the arena, we're all setting up and getting ready. I'm scoping out, whichever section I'm in and making sure everything is copacetic before we open doors and we start, you know, um, serving the public. So when I went in, I was like, okay, I'm living for the stage. First of all, no shade, but the stage did look like a pair of dick and balls, the way the whole setup was. And they had like two it was general admissions on the floor. So there was like no seats and everything, which I actually like when it's like that. So it was like just one big catwalk, and then it had like the thing at the end, and then it had like a little pit up at the top. So it was like two different little sections where people could stand and be by the side of the stage where the catwalk was and around the whole thing. And then there was some people who had pit access, which was relatively cool. So I was like, oh, this was like a pretty good set. I liked it. It had a little retro, like I said, like a 70s retro vibe. And so then the opening act did this thing. And then when Benson came out, that boy definitely puts on a show. He's got a lot of showmanship, very energetic, but yeah, he's like what, 22, 23. So what were you expecting that he was gonna bring in regards to that? So of course he was gonna bring it in regards of like the performance aspect, the showmanship, the flipping off of things. And there was at one point that I was like, okay, this is giving a little Liberace kind of behind the candelabra tease. He, like how some people come sailing out and stuff. Yeah, Katy Perry on the butterfly, whatever. He came out like going through the arena, hanging from. I wouldn't say hanging. Let's go a little see with it. He was swinging from a chandelier, so he was on top of the chandelier. He was singing. I don't remember what song it was, but yeah. And then at one point, when it lowers it down to where the piano is, then he unhooks himself and kind of jumps. He jumps down. I just be worrying like when him doing all these flips and jumps and all this other stuff. I understand you're young and maybe your frontal. Excuse me. Because I don't think his frontal lobe is fully developed yet. But I really feel like I'm hoping that the people that are part of the crew are definitely taking safety precautions when it comes to some of the stuff he does, because he's jumping around and he's got a lot of energy. And I understand you're young, but you don't want to do something where you put your body and parts in harm's way. And I was saying this also. I was like, this is cute now, but can you imagine like when Benson is like 40 or 50 and y'all still expecting him to be doing like backhand springs and flips and all that other gymnastic stuff? So, and I actually like the wardrobe he had on. Like, the boy was definitely showing body. He was shirtless during the first part. Then when he goes into like this black tux look, which I actually kind of like, and he had a cute ass too, because I was looking at it the whole night. Well, whenever I could, but um, with the outfits and stuff that he had on, it was like I like the black ensemble and stuff as well. So I liked a lot of his look. So one of the things I will say, because I've always been wondering, like when it comes to a lot of the younger acts that are coming out, I'm like, I don't know if this new generation is really giving me what I need in regards to like performance, showmanship, if you have that X factor. But I feel like with him, he definitely has that X factor. There was a lot of little kids there. So a lot of little girls like them some Benson, and then it was like one point when he was doing one of his songs, he acknowledged the fact that his demographic skewers younger. So he was like when he was doing like this long-winded thing, speech that he was giving before he went into the next song. He was just talking about Tony and how you have ever had a crush, because he asked if you ever been in love, and it was like a little kid. He's like, okay, I understand, like a lot of y'all in here are a little young, but so we had to flip it over and make it like, have you ever had a crush? And because everybody's had that, but as far as like in love, ain't no 8-year-old know what no damn love is. You can't tell me at 12, you can't tell me at 15, you damn sure can't tell me at 18 that you know anything about love, which I always found relatively weird when they would have like these young, like whenever the industry and pop stars always had young kids singing songs about love, and I'm like, what the hell do they know about love? You don't know about love and heartbreak at no 14? Get out of here. That's like kids table mess. Now you don't really know love and heartbreak and stuff until you about in your 20s. You're a little older, got a little, once you get all that Similac off your breath and you have a little mileage under your, situation, then I feel like you can actually speak about love, which is why I don't understand why they always want to skewer young when it comes to talent. There's a lot of older people that I would rather listen to than, I mean, when I was young, I ain't know no damn better. But now when you get older, you kind of see it different. So it is a relatively good show. I do recommend people go and check it out. I don't know how much the ticket prices are, but I got to see it for free because I worked it. But yeah, he definitely surprised me when I watched the show. So I was like, with all the little things I was all excited, I'm like, it's coming across a little performative. It doesn't feel like he's kind of being his authentic self. And maybe you still don't get that when it comes from the music or whatever the case is. But when he gets on stage, Benson definitely, there's something that comes out of him that this light that just comes upon him, and he really gives a good show. So I definitely see it in the performances, but I just need the music and the writing and everything. I need a little more fat, a little more meat on the bone when it comes to that. And I feel like as he gets older, he'll I think he'll mature more and have a lot more experience under him, where he could really have some good authentic songs that matches the showmanship. So it's definitely there. He's a work in progress, and I know he's still relatively fresh to the industry, so I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story? Have you seen the American Heart Tour? What did you think of it and all that good stuff? Good, bad, or indifferent? I definitely want to hear from y'all. So let me know what your thoughts are on this story in the comments down below.